Dumelang ra la amogela mo go Daily Thetha on SABC 1. Nna ka lebitso ke nna Nicolette wa ga Mashile ngwana wa kwa Bushbuckridge Mapulaneng yene a re tshwareleng lona leme la matsogo ke sesi Andiswa wa ga Kebashe. Eish topic your sister blah blah yona le khono e ntshwarisa ditlhong because mamaka she's watching and I know gore I have unfortunately dropped out of a church ke baba ba tswileng kerekeng gore kereke a ke sa tšiba gore na e gana which role mo bophelong baka, and that's what we're going to be looking at le khono mo ga Thetha re nyako botsa gore na wena o leng gae na e botswana le nna ke nna seswa go Nicolette o re wa tšwa Nico le nna ke tswile kerekeng la ga go lebaka ke eng na. Now we know that 27% of young people in South Africa are just feeling like churches are non-essential to them. They've just not been given enough reason to be able to go to church. That does not mean that they're not Christians. So where do you fit in? How do you feel about it?
Ngithi ngibingelele emakhaya ke omncane nomdala igama umeledwa kami yakucwanini sibe uzizwe umusha ke lo siqhubeke ngale ndaba njengoba Nicolette ayibuza ukuthi ngempela yini exosha abantu enkonzweni sibaningi sibabonayo ukuthi abantu bakhala ukuthi abaholi beinkonzo yibona ke abantu sebenza ukuthi ngathi akusekho ize sontweni phinde futhi abanye ile ndlela mhlawumbe sibona ngayo inkonzo engafani senza ukuthi singahlali endaweni eyodwa sithi sibuze wena kuumuntu omusha umuntu omdala ohlele ekhaya ukuthi sicela ukuthi ube nathi sikwazi ukukhuluma ngale nto namhlanje ukuthi ngempela yini emele sifunde ngenkonzo zalamhlanje phinde futhi sivule le ndaba ku social media ku Instagram ku Twitter sithi #DailyThetha
or kana tsora ka mogala ko 0113391315 Melody e re go tshele ko spotong ge o kwa ba re motho is a church dropout. What is the first thing that comes to your head? And I want you to be as honest as possible.
I think they don't relate. Bebathi umuntu uyekile inkonzo, I believe ukuthi they've not left God, they've left the church, the building. Because ufila ngathi akabelong.
And church being people that are inside church, as you are one of the people that build a specific church. And maybe that's what we're going to be talking about, maybe with our studio audience. We'll find out what makes people from the outside who have dropped out of church say, what you're kereke saying makaorkibe uncomfortable. But for now, let's welcome our studio audience. And I think Melody restarted more what is your culture le kereke, the relationship ya go le kereke ke eng mama? Unthomele ka lebitso la gago.
Hi, mina nguzimbonge oliphakade. Mina into engise enkonzweni kukufuna uNkulunkulu ne because sengikhona la ngenxa kaNkulunkulu ne. So eyoba ukuthi lezi zinto zokuthi abafundisi badla imali ayikho leyo nto because i-scripture kwiBhayibheli siyasho ukuthi ishumi kumele sisikhiphe.
Siswa uthi badla imali?
Ngithi abantu bayasho ukuthi abefundisi badla imali bakhuluma kabi. Leyo into mina ngithi ayikho.
Okay.
Because i-scripture in the Bible siyasho ukuthi okweshumi kumele sikukhiphe no zonke imali neminikelo yabo ne-tithe yabo. So mina ngibona ukuthi it's good ukuthi ishumi okweshumi ukukhiphe because okweshumi mawukhipha in 3 years time or 5 years time uNkulunkulu uyakublessa more.
Se ke go kwa wena o llela gore gona le batho ba re ba tswile ko kerekeng abantu ba phume esontweni inkonzweni bathi ba blame indaba yokuthi abafundisi bafuna imali so uthi wena i10% kwamele siyikhiphe. Siswa ngicela ukubuza ukuthi yona le benefit ye10% ukuyikhipha le 10% izalwa kanjani kuwe uyibona kanjani?
Mina iyangisebenzela because last year my mom said to me kubana mntanami umele ufika kwakho egoli into yokuqala ukhupha ishumi umama usinisiwe and kudala isinisiwe maybe usinisiwe 1999 so athi kumele egoli umele ufike ukhiphe kweshumi in wathi please umele usikhuphe uthi make sure uyasikhupha mangifika nyanga ngiyasikhipha ishumi ngo-April ngafonelwa ukuthi sisi kunemali yakho eyayiba uyithole years back it was 2009 so it's 10 years.
So siswa usiconnecta kanjani lezo izinto zethu ukuthi ukhipha ishumi and then kwaphuma imali akusiki ukuthi uNkulunkulu vele wakublessa ngoba uyapho
ishumi sisi siyakuvulela iminyango.
Inkolo yakhona ukuthi as a
Ishumi siyavulela
Christian
iminyango izinto ziyenzeka ngosikhupha but ngokusikhupha kwakho asithi ukuthi ubusikhuphe this year so ufuna ushesha yonke izinto
something must happen.
Okanye ishumi singakwazi ukuthi siyenze impilo yabantwana bakho ukuthi ihlale kahle and siyakuprotecta
nokuprotecta Moses because I think and maybe I'd like to ask gore gona la dumelana le sesi ka mo a o dumella le ena a re kwa gore na wena o re keng ke o
Okay, ana ka lebitso ke MacGyver.
MacGyver.
Ana ke a ke dumele dilo tse tsa ditšhelete. Ka lebaka la gore o khumana ba o ne le aneela botse. Ke o neela o a re o hane. Mara o na lo nelo mo do bona gore mo o ta fela mo. O do fuwa di account number. O fuwa di account number di on flop o butsi o thusa ka la coin ka on flop. But ka ra Bible a ona mo kopolana ba re ne o neele from 100 rand up. O ba re neela. So ke re ntse dingwe ba o fa di on flop so una le speed point ba tsosa batho ba khwilene kore na ka lesa
ene vele ka speed point a o rona gore o ka swipe 10 rand
wa bona ribiane so ba re go fa ka nkingeni ka bosumu re tsona sa rekile Lamborghini na ke a thopeya ke robala fase
wena o tsama ka maoto mo rutu tsama ka Lamborghini
o feta le zelene wa bona re bora ita kae
so putwaka MacGyver ke lona le baka le go la gore wena o sa saya go kerekeng
ke chabile chelete ke ntshi ba inyakana
ke o MacGyver o re ke chabile chelete intshi
and kubhlungu ukuthi inkonzo yiningi sesiyazibona namhlanje kube ngazuthi ama business owenza imali kuphela hayi ukusindisa abantu ukukhulisa abantu uqinisa imndeni spiritually but thingiqala lapha butwam usahamba inkonzo baba
Andisayihambi butwana.
Igama lesibongo butwana.
Igama lami ndingusiphamandla Voyi.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yini ekwenza ukuthi ungasayi esontweni mfethu?
Into endenze baningasayi ecaweni inye ile mali abayifunayo ndibe mina ndingenayo. Okokuqala ndingumntana ndimngaka. Ndinabe ngicaba eziyoni ufumane kuzofuneka ngithenge isambatho saseziyoni funeka eso sambatho mhlawumbe sibetha kuma 450 andinani senti mina empokothweni andinani sheleni funeka ndihambe ndiyocela emzalini phofu epheleni akukho condition nathi nempupho encane ndisayocela imali yokugqibela so ke ngoku if uthatha ukujonga ke ngoku mase ndisecaweni bafuna le mali yasendlini isisonke sokugqibela
Thingibuze bhuti mina ngivumelana nawe engifuna ukubuza nje okuncane uzongiphendula quickly do you have the same feeling when you have to buy clothes ngoChristmas sometimes kumele sicela abazali ukuthi sithenge ingubo Christmas sithenga icathulo ezithile ebizayo do we have the same energy as abantu abasha not you but as abantu abasha
andifani nabo mina bhuti wami ndiyayi-understand isimo sasendlini
okay you understand.
It's very interesting. We've got a social media coming in from Spepi Sohlajoy. The reason behind all of this, I think we as young people expect a lot from God in a short space of time. And if He doesn't give it to us, we lose faith. And without faith, there is no reason to go to church. Then we give up everything. And Melody, for me, and I think I'm going to keep asking this question throughout the whole episode, usayi kerekeng na
konke lokho besibuya Siyakwamukela back to Daily Thetha la ku SABC 1 ungathuki saqala le ndaba yethu sikhuluma ngokuthi abantu abayeka inkonzo abantu abebehamba inkonzo bayikhuthalele kwafika isikhathi bathi inhliziyo esavume ifundo ziyakhombisa ukuthi ke okuningi kuyenzeka la South Africa between the ages of 15 and 18 where abantu abasha start having a choice of should I go to church or not bagcina bangasayi so sifuna ukwazi thina today with Apostle Mukhano who is coming from the Kingdom Life Cathedral ozohlama uzosisiza si understand Apostle siyakwamukela la ku Daily Thetha.
Amen. It's good to be here.
Siyajabula. Baba asiqale kancane nje sibuyisele emuva. In your opinion, yini ocabangayo iyenza yini izizathu sikhona ukuthi abantu baqale baye kuyenkonzweni?
Well, izizathu zinengi. Izizathu zinengi but one of the things that we need to consider and to bear in mind it is that we are living in a time where we see a lot of greater affluence. Meaning that we are seeing people moving from middle class to upper class. And when they move from middle class to upper class, then it means that now those that did not get more, then they move to poverty or to poor class.
But what's more?
Meaning people now, they have discovered that having one salary is not enough. So now people have multiple streams of income.
Yeah.
And now, when people have money, they've got options. And so those options, they then affect the church in as far as attendance is concerned. Because now you find that now people travel more. It's amazing to see that affluent people, they travel more. And the more they travel, the more they take their children to expensive schools. And when they take their children to expensive schools, then the schools that they take them to, they've got sports, and the sports which is weekends. And some of the sports they even have to attend, have to travel, I mean to say. And when they travel, you find that now they can't come to church. So,
maybe Apostle relate somewhere else taba e.
Yeah.
Kereke e khana what role? Kereke you go tsaba kereke khana what role so that we can understand the environment ya yona kereke gore na ge nna ke ya kerekeng ke expecta eng.
Yeah, kereke one of the mistakes that is happening. Let me start it this way.
Yeah.
The church is supposed to be a movement, not an organization.
Okay.
Not
an institution.
An institution, that's the word. So now, the minute we get into this institution, we lose the mandate of God.
Yeah.
We are supposed to be a movement.
Yes.
Government has institution, banks has institution, and all of that. But the church is not supposed to be an institution. Yes, the church must be orderly. It must have systems. It must have a way in which it operates and it conducts itself. But it's not supposed to be an institution. It's supposed to be a movement. Now remember, when Saul's church in the Bible started to be an institution, a monument, God had to replace it with the David's church. God had to replace it with the David's church, which is a movement, because remember, God is not static. God is progressive and he's forever moving.
Ke gopela go tseba yona movement e. Movement ya ANC and PACs in the past was liberation. So when we talk about a movement, a cause that is behind that movement.
Exactly.
The
mandate of the church is to set God's people free.
Okay.
People need to be delivered from a lot of crazy things that are happening in life. So therefore people are coming to church to get a direct mandate as to how to live my life better in society. Church is not supposed to be coming just to come and listen to the pastor and enjoy the music. It's more than that. It's actually a place where you are trained. It's actually a place where you are given kingdom principles as to how to live your life, as to how to govern your life, beyond your life, how to live at work, how to run your business, how to run your company. So that is where we get a mandate from. So it's a place of empowerment by God's principles.
Apostle, then asibuyise kancane ke sibuke in a perspective ngisenkonzweni yakho. I attend enkonzweni yakho. Ngirealize ukuthi cha izwi lakho alifiki kumina. Like ayikuthi angikuzwa without making this, but in the saying ukuthi alibambeleli kumina. And I decide to leave the church. How do we address the first part ukuthi there's no connection, I don't feel the word?
That one is normal. That one happens everywhere. You may find that the person is misplaced. They don't leave the church because they hate the pastor or they hate the church. But you said it, they don't connect. Let's put it this way, in a more simpler way. All of us here, we have started school at primary level. When you reach standard 5, because I come from the level of standards, I'm sorry to the grades.
You're showing us your age.
I'm revealing my age. Now, when you reach standard 5, and you have to go to standard 6, you do not leave your primary school because you hate the principal, because you hate the school. You leave it because they are no longer offering the next level. So you must go to high school. You see, now when you left your high school, it's because you have matriculated, not that you hate the school or the uniform.
So sometimes we don't understand, is that what you're saying?
Sometimes we don't understand that a person might be find the church, be in a church of a pastor that is equipped to train people at the milk level, meaning at the kindergarten, basic stuff. And you find that you have outgrown that. You have outgrown that somehow, maybe where you grew up, they used to give you basics. And now you want somebody that can give you more than that. Sure. Remember the stages of life. There's a childhood stage, there's an adulthood stage, and there's an eldership stage. Sure. You find that you are in the childhood church where they are just giving you milk stuff, basic stuff, and all of that, and you have outgrown that. And now you've got to go to the next level. The same way, you do not hate the primary teacher. He can't give you what the high school teacher can give you. You don't hate the high school teacher.
Apostle.
You just hate, you just need to go to the next level.
Apostle, let's quickly go into, we've got a social media, very interesting one says, one of the reasons young people want nothing to do with church is because our churches are not tackling issues that affect young people. Issues such as underage sexual relationships, drug abuse, school dropouts, etc. These are real issues that affect young people daily, if not for a lifetime. Knowing the Bible alone is not enough when you can't separate a right from a wrong, period. Now, I find this very interesting because it's that environment sometimes as baso we can't bring conflicts and we don't know how conflict then gets handled. And if I feel like already I'm feeling judged. How do we address the environment so that it can be comforting for every single young person who needs to find that comfort?
Unfortunately, we are living in the times where people have what we call self-directed spirituality.
Okay.
So meaning that people now, instead of relying on the church and the spiritual leader for spiritual growth, people have options.
Okay.
There is what we call Pastor Google.
Pastor Google.
There is what we Pastor Google. That is why when a parent, and I'm taking it that far, you see I'm coming somewhere. That is why when a parent starts to see symptoms of sickness from a child, instead of going to the doctor, they go to Dr. Google and get those symptoms and even get the suggestion of the medication. So therefore it is self-directed spirituality. So there is Dr. Google, there is Pastor Google, and there is this and that and that. So people are so that is why people already come to church. Already sebayayazi into bayifunayo. So already balitile for whatever reason for the pastor to take a wrong turn and say you sing yayibona manje ukuthi umfundisi uyaphi. You see what I'm saying? Because of that. But however, the church is not supposed to condemn. The church is not supposed to judge. The church should be a place of alignment. Now, here is what the problem is with this generation. We confuse correction with judgment. We don't want to be corrected and then we say, I was judged.
Is it not approach, Apostle? Because sometimes correction can come across as judgment by the way moto abuang loe.
It's true. It's how the person may be addressing the correction. That may seem wrong, but all I'm saying is that people should not confuse correction from judgment because a church is a family of God. So in any family, there are constitutions, there are laws, and all of that. Gin back jail gutunga ngeni ngo 6. Mawufike ngo 7 bayakushaya or
bayakuphanisha. Mhlawumbe uhlele ekhaya uyasho ukuthi mina angivumelani no-apostoli. Mhlawumbe uthi apostoli khona okushodayo, but thina la siyafunda. Ngicela siyokuya break bese sibuya siqhubeke nenkulumo yethu.
Back on Daily Thetha. Now, 66% yabaswa between the ages of 23 and 30 have said they have just stopped going to church. One of the reasons that they are citing is the fact that sometimes they move from high, go to university, go to college, and then they just don't find the church that they relate to, the church that makes them comfortable. To have this conversation, we're joined on the couch by Solomon Ngubeni, who's one of the people that says, look, maybe there's time for us to re-look at this kereke thing. And then who says, you know what, I'm staunch, I'm in church, and I understand the role that it plays in my life. Welcome to Daily Thetha.
Thank you.
And I think, Solomon, and perhaps maybe understand your upbringing, how was church positioned?
So for me, church, like as a young person, I grew up in a church household. Like my mom was even baptized way before I was even born. So vele, Sunday school, every I went through the structures, right? And then you start asking questions because you go to school, right? We come from different backgrounds. So my friend comes from a rich family and we go to the same school and he's telling me something else and I start asking questions. I'm like, Mama, but okay, why would an angel kill? But God says, like it's normal, it's curiosity of a child. Mabuz gakulu and then my mom, right, or parents or whoever elder, it's not just my mom or anything. It's, yo, why is it like this? And then be like, hey, ubuza gakulu, go to church. And then I sit there, I have so many questions. I'm looking at the screens, I'm looking at the verses. Ngibheka left, ngibheka right. Pretty soon, we're niggling and we are giving offering. And I'm like, I go home, that happens one Sunday, that happens. So it's questions and then I come from an impoverished background. So we went from Akasi and I look at it. Why is it that we are all poor, ne? But every corner store, there's a liquor store and there's a church. No money, that's where the money is, right? Everyone is poor, there's Nyaupe boy, everyone is poor in the whole hood. And the two guys that are rich and are driving Bentleys in the hood or Rolls Royces,
The bottle
a
owner
Rolls
in the
Royce
pasta.
is a bottle owner in the past and I'm looking at myself, but grandmother is broke and Coco, why can't we buy bread? No, this money is going to the church. I'm like, but Coco slambile.
Yeah.
I want to understand, and acknowledging your story, I want to understand, was it more visual doubt that made you question the church or was it inside, you just couldn't connect?
Can I say it's both?
Well, you can.
It's both, because from what I'm seeing, I'm looking at my background, right? So I'm listening to we also have media. I'm listening to all these guys talking about success. I listen to a lot of Jay-Z, and I'm like, okay, he comes from a hood, and I learned that Jesus came from Akasi. So I'm like, okay, so good things come from Akasi.
Well, Mamela Jay-Z.
So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But then in the hood, the only people that look like me, the only three ways to be rich is you're a politician, you're a Christian pastor, or you're a bottle store owner, right? Everyone else...
I want to ask you a question before we get to Sesame Mkateko. And you said it in the beginning. We say, I look at my friend who comes from a different background and he's saying something different. Do you feel that church is positioned differently for those who are poor and those who are rich? Do they get taught different things about Kerek?
Definitely. One, they preach hope. One, they say, okay, now it's elevation. Right, so the church, so the church in the burb, right?
In the burb, this is a suburb.
Sorry. It's a suburb. Sorry. The church in the suburbs, been to a few. They preach we use the same verses because we all use the same Bible, but the verses are selective.
Yes.
So the people, I can't talk to a poor man and a man who owns a bank the same way.
Okay.
So I'll use verses for you, right? You own that bank, and I'll use verses for you because you go through troubles, you can't pay rent, your children are dropping out, your children are getting pregnant, because it's a kasi. Your child just got stabbed. You need hope Sunday, you need something, so it's like that drug. And then for you come from stressful meetings the whole week, you lost money here, you lost money, and they're telling you that no, pay this certain amount and then it's gonna prosperity. So we preach hope, here we preach elevation, and it's just different.
Sure.
This is an interesting view.
Yabona ngiyithanda elevation yakho because ukhuluma iqiniso about questions. Siswami, uyezwa, I mean, uhlala enkonzweni, you sit in the church, you listen, you interpret in the church.
Yes.
Tell us about your journey.
Okay, my journey, so what he's talking about, I'm also from a village, where you see that we are lacking somewhere.
Yeah.
But my mother, from the very young age, she introduced me to church. So I grew up in church. I was going to church. But it came a day where I made a decision to say, okay, let me look at this. So my mom has introduced me to this religion. What does it mean to me?
Yeah.
And then I took a decision to say, okay, I accept this God as my personal life and savior, as my personal savior. So I was like, okay, now I will live with this God. Now it will be no longer my mother who will push me. So I was like, okay, mani makakuman fostela kya kireke. Want to see sane? Okay, unfosteriwa kale. But now I'm old, I can make my decision.
How old are you at this age, Mikateko?
At this age, I'm 33.
Also, when I would say a decision, I'm 33,
No, I took
Ke
a
nyako tseba
decision.
rona decision ya akere
Okay.
wena and I think it's a lot of experiences tsa batho
Yeah.
gore most of us re gola re kena kerekeng because ka Saturday night
Yes.
go ainiwa di hemp
Yeah.
go ainiwa skete go iwa kerekeng but we never given a choice gore now my mom never asked me ni kret nyoko kerekeng or not go iwa kerekeng akere so ke batla tseba gore now when you made the decision
Yes.
bona le mengwaga me kae
Yeah.
Okay, so mina, I went to varsity.
Yeah.
Nifika nishibona ku varsity, there's a lot of things happening.
Yeah.
So instead of joining those ones, laban babona kore, okay, they don't go to church. I continued. Nekurwataba iyini, because this has saved me. I believe it has saved me. And then I will continue with this journey of being a Christian. I will go to church. Nibona kore ntaba safe kumbe loko nirahale, because I could see kore loko no huma. I think I will be miserable. So niteka decision in kunta continue wa mina and go to church. Of which it worked for me. So when I went to varsity in Tamares, I survived that life. And then no huma, and for me, I even took a decision to serve God. Negro, you know what? I could see, no man, there's something that is lacking. I need to work. I need to serve God. One understand. To church, I didn't go
for the
pastor, what is happening to church. Because I will tell you a story. So with me, after Lokoneri varsity, I graduated. I was pregnant before marriage.
Akerekeng.
Nirkerekeng, saving. Yes. I need you understand that loko iri youth wa ka data ni wa kuna story so tala kerekeng.
Conference.
Yeah, na
conference. Nativa na me.
What this is so kuna so tala ngopa kerekeng wa bona. So nilidara kwalaya and busy. And I was leading the youth, mind you. Hey, it was very difficult. I became pregnant. You know, I can miscommunication, so you cannot work because you're pregnant and get So for me, now that I'm pregnant, I must sit down. Youth, what are the young ones looking at me, the leader of the youth? Because pregnant, but they still get pregnant. So for me, you know what, Mina, I made a decision to serve God. Whether the men of God miscommunicate means after getting a child, I will still have to work.
But tell me, Mikateko, during this pregnancy, what are the church elders?
So it's not easy.
Yeah.
So kuna the church elders, you know what? When you didn't listen, if I'm wrong, so when because you must sit down. You are very lucky if you have a man of God or a leader in the church that says, yes, you made a mistake.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. As you are still young, it's okay. You can still work. So I didn't leave church. I'm not here for the men of God. I'm not here for the leaders. I am here to serve God. Whether he saves me or not, I'll still serve him.
Sure.
Amen. Yes.
And you know, I want to come back to that statement. I want to quickly take a social media like Facebook. But tell me, Uti, the other reason is that the church of today has distanced itself from the values and principles of the early church portrayed by the book of Acts. The love that prevailed in the early church has vanished, and many doctrines have risen which cause confusion and divisions in the current church system. And which comes back to the values you spoke about, which comes back to a bit of what Apostle mentioned, which then makes me wonder in your situation as a woman, did you feel like the men in the church, the boys and the girls in the church were given a fair opportunity? Because when you're pregnant, we are humble. If we are
So, you are right. So, look, means communicator. And when you are pregnant, they will tell you, now that you are pregnant, you must sit down. Because pregnancy will show. So now the guy is like, controlling everything. Maybe Arika camera crew. Everything continue because
so does that mean that you feel like the church doesn't promote a balance?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that's the interesting conversation. I think it's something that Solomon alluded to. Because the other thing that I think our parents, when they position kereke, they always never teach you kereke role, but they use this fear factor. Go sa ikerekeng, utlo pata ke mang ge o ka shwa. You know those kind of things. You're not gonna where you're gonna get married if you don't go to church. So I think those are, or how will people look at me as a parent if banabak aba ikerekeng? And those are some of the things that we do need to address. But do stay with us after the break.
So ungakhohlwa ukuthi ke if kapa uthola ngithuba ukuthi ubone the first part of the show khuleke ku Facebook live sikhona na ku YouTube sesifikile sikwazi ukuthi kunike ithuba ukuthi ukwazi ubukele nawe izinto eziphuthile. But njengoba siqhubeka nenkulumo yethu namhlanje talking about bayibiza nge-church dropout igama lakhona, but thina sifuna understand ukuthi yini church dropout, uyakufundela lokho or i-situation yasenkonzweni exoshayo. But on our couch, we are now joined by two people abaphila impilo ezihlukene. Of course, we're joined by, of course, uqala ngumkhulu M, who's not a person esingamjwayelanga la ekhaya, who went from being someone who was Christian, but we became someone who was an African spiritualist, if I could use that term. But nakhona also former hip-hop artist abantu abaningi bamazi ngomculo wakhe in his past life, and now who's now known as Pastor Selvin Gwenya, who also joins us. Gentlemen, siyabonga ukuthi sikwazi nibe khona namhlanje.
Thank you so much.
What an important conversation esinayo namhlanje, because it's a day-to-day thing. And ngizoqala ngawe mkhulu M, tell us about your journey when it comes to this conversation.
So I was born and bred in the church.
Yeah.
And we didn't observe amasiko ekhaya. But fast forward, we got a calling to get initiated to become a Nyanka. And and then that's how I left the church. So the story is quite long, but you know. Yeah, but that's how I got out of the church.
So as much ogutsenko kerekeng utlile bang the calling. I just want to understand gore did you get the calling o sa le ko kerekeng ge o communicate le batswadi o re ke na le calling or I can feel I've got a calling bona ba reng?
I didn't say to my parents I have a calling until I went to go see a healer who told me that this
so
is
you went before you communicated with your parents? Una le ngwaga meka at this point?
Being a healer.
No, when you
my age.
So when you are going now to the healer to go and understand what's happening, and he communicates go and the calling, what age were you then?
I think I'm 35 now. I think I was 30, 31.
30, okay.
So that's quite recent now in terms of being young. So you didn't turn your back on Christianity, but you chose a different direction of spirituality. And then to bring you back in, Mr. Selvin, then in your opportunity, tell us about your story. I mean, you're a hip-hop artist, and we know hip-hop in South Africa. But going to Guti, it has a lifestyle to it. Amanto Bazane, Uchwala, in all that sense, Uchoma. But now you're living a different story. Please walk us through.
Well, my story is more about growth.
Yeah.
That is why you'll find that in my spheres of operation, or where I influence the most, it is still within the hip-hop fraternity, because when you look at hip-hop, it is preaching. I don't sing, I speak words. Power words are being used that influence your decision-making. So even though, you know, I was using this gift and I didn't even understand the gift of music, that actually the gift was not music, but the gift was to be able to educate. As I grew into it, I understood that whatever, I mean, my songs, things that I wrote, they were either coming from a level of be better, things cannot be like this, while I was just a naive boy that was given an ability to be poetic. And, you know, fame comes into it. I mean, you're just an ignorant guy, and you start being admired by people. They start saying, oh, we love your music. You start doing shows, and you are admired, and girls come, and alcohol, and all those things. And it does have an effect when you are alone. There's no girls, there's no 50,000 people. You're just you in a mirror. And you ask yourself, what is my purpose? And that's when there was that key that was switched on, and some other engine within had to now provoke the real me to come out.
So, Pastor Gwen, if you can just explain to me, I mean, you came from this lifestyle and you walked into the church. How did the church receive you in terms of the stigma of the life you lived in the past and what you're choosing now?
Well, for me, it was not merely walking into a church. I actually had been going to another church, but I was inconsistent. And it's not that I had an issue with the church, but I was not getting the level that would groom me.
Yeah.
And to me, it was divine timing. I believe that I've always was someone bothered by purpose. You know, I was always someone driven by the reason behind why do I do this? You know, so my life was just directed. It was a meeting of a man, which is quite phenomenal. It changed my life.
Sure.
So I met a man by the name of Apostle Thabiso Mogano, who just spoke earlier on. And the meeting, you know, when you meet someone and there's just this
Meeting of minds.
yes, without even a conversation. And it happened good. I came to his church, was preaching, and 30 seconds was enough. I was like, this is the man that I would want to mentor me, speak to me,
Sure.
groom me, make me grow. And I decided right there and there, I'm going to be a son. So to me, church is not just going to church to get the preaching. It was about connection with purpose. Yeah.
And maybe we can ask you, Mkhulu, I just want to get an understanding gore na African spirituality ke eng, because you've converted from Christianity o ye ko African spirituality. A di kgone go tshwarisana dintho tse two?
Face value, they can.
Okay.
Fundamentally, I don't think they can. And my reasons are, for example, I used to be I was a pastor for 7 years, for example. And I found that in my sermons, when I preach, there has to come a time where you have to disconnect the gospel from science, meaning from practicality.
Yes.
For example, I would ask, why rapara di bike go fisha?
And go fisha, Papa.
You understand? So you might see it as a simple thing.
Yes.
But for me, when you look deeper into it, there are certain things that also happen within religion that seek to separate us from science, from common sense. For example, the teaching that we came to dominate the earth. Science says we came to coexist with nature, even though Rona, our intelligence might be enhanced compared to other species. That does not necessarily make us better.
But
for
Mkhulu,
example.
I want to bounce this to Apostle and bring it back to you. Apostle, ke batla o ntshwarele o nnaganele o ja marapa tlhogo ne. Why rapara di bike go fisa? Go pon tshwarele eo. Mkhulu, why then did you not transform your church to your level of understanding and interpretation ya yona Bibele?
So I started a movement called Youth in Mission, whatever.
Okay.
Our purpose was to build branches in the SADC region because we were passionate about poverty alleviation, for example. And we were kicked out of church. We were not allowed by the leaders that were there at the time.
Okay.
We were not allowed to question how black people relate with money.
Okay.
I believe that money is something that you need education on for you to be able to use it.
Definitely.
We were not allowed to ask such questions. We were not allowed to ask, why is it that the entire spiritual narrative is about men? And the only time that it speaks about women, and Lega Women's Day. We were not allowed to ask such questions. Sure. So that's how we got to. So it is the bureaucracy that you find within religion that makes it difficult for you to actually grow spiritually.
So unless you change back to what we're teaching you. About conversation. I just want to know how that
Like
conversation went down.
The highway.
Yeah.
So I was kicked out twice. So the first
twice.
So no problem me. Yeah.
So the first time I was kicked out, I was told, Uguti, you need to find an organization that you can align your ideas to.
Okay.
And obviously there was none, unfortunately. Secondly, I was told Uguti, Christianity and Africa cannot coexist. So you can't come back to church as a sangom. So
Apostle,
man.
Well, let's start with the first one.
Yeah, baiki.
Yeah, baiki. Hosea 4 verse 6, my people perish because of lack of knowledge.
Okay.
It is the lack of knowledge that keeps people in bondage and in prison. People were introduced to the church instead of being introduced to the God of the church.
Amen.
So now when you are introduced to the church, it's a problem because now you are bound by certain things that every church people do. And if you don't do them, you are treated like an outcast. You've got to wear ibanchi ngoba but the truth of the matter, that's religiosity. That's pure religion.
Pastor, ke kgopela ke apostle, ke kgopela gore go kgopela something. I want you to do justice to the response. So kgopela o ntshwarele yona mo. Re ye to a quick ad break. Re boa re starta ka wena ne Pastor. Please stay with us.
Welcome back to Daily Thetha la ku SABC 1, the #1 youth station la eMzansi mhlambe nase Africa. Kodwa ke kwamanje sidila le ndaba ebalekile ukuthi kunabantu bayakhala kule topic yethu ukuthi abanye abasakwazi ukwenkonzweni, abasathanda ukwenkonzweni because of izathu ezingafani, and silokho siyafunda ngendlela abantu beza khona, but sithembisile ukuthi sizoqala ku apostoli asibuyisele ngale nkulumo bekayichaza before sifika siza ukuthi ama guests la studio abanye athini. Apostle, sicela uqhubekele la sishiye khona le nkulumo.
Yeah, I was saying that it is lack of knowledge, and it is what happens is that as a leader, sometimes you can be tempted to impose your own self convictions and beliefs and impose them to the people just because you love to look a certain way and impose it to people to look that way. But in essence, look, in the olden days, ngesikhathi sabo Mose nabo bantu bekunganamabhantshi manje indaba yamabhantshi indaba ye-fashion indaba ye-21st century. So a person can look however comfortable they want and come to church and worship God. We are not coming to a fashion parade. We are just coming to worship God.
But Apostle, I mean, we go to churches like there are a lot of titles. Abantu abathi because uyena uba mfundisi omkhulu uyena bekushona ioccasion lama plate antswembu. You understand? Uyena ukuthi umuntu ukuthi enkonzweni you cannot relate as ubaba. I must relate because of your title. Mhlawumbe do you believe ukuthi into lena eyenza ukuthi identity of umuntu omusha gets lost in the church to be groomed?
I don't think so. I think indaba yokuthi umfundisi makaze endlini bese umama ukhipha amakomitsha special. It's an error number 1 ukuthi umama ukhipha amakomitsha special angakaza enzele ubaba wasekhaya. Because ubaba wasekhaya is the priest of the family, is the head of the family. So therefore awukwazi ukuthi wenzele umfundisi itiya ngekomitsha elispecial ungakazi wenzele ubaba wasekhaya. It's one of the reasons ezenza ukuthi abobaba abaningi bangafuni kuze esontweni.
Oh nayi le ndaba yiyo bengifuni iyona ke le ndaba le.
I want to ask you a question, Melody.
Because
I'd like to ask both Pastor Ngwenya and Apostle gore na, is it because of the magnitude and the size ya Christianity gore go sabe le a standard interpretation? Because I think that's where I struggle, because go Lutheran church go na le a certain way of doing things, go ya go Nazarene go na le a way of doing things, go ya Seventh-day Adventist go na le a way of doing things, go kena ga the barking bazalwane go na le a way. Why was not standard? Pastor Ngwenya.
Look, I'm taught by my father that even though there's an establishing or a mushrooming of all churches, and when you're talking about size, the issue that we have come to learn as the basis is God. And God is source. And source is fatherhood. And fatherhood is kingdom. So if we were to be kingdom-minded, not church-minded, because church is run by people, but kingdom is run by God. So the fundamental roles should be, the center should be God, and we're thinking kingdom. You will find that we apply the principles of the kingdom and we are not scattered everywhere, because now you have opinions when you run a church. Church is not a building. It is people that have to center God as the first love, as the first attention. And when you come with kingdom principles, you will erase a whole lot of things that we see that are going wrong.
And it makes me want to follow up to you, and I'm going to come to you, Kuliam, is that, do you believe, and it's just a yes or no, we are Kolelu money has influenced the thought of pastors, not the church. I'm talking about the leaders. Do you think they've had an influence negatively?
Yes, I do believe that it has both ways. It has affected the congregants negatively, and it has affected the leaders negatively as well.
We've got a comment there coming in from...
Sure.
Just give him the mic there, yes.
Based on what the good sir said, the gentleman there, it's not what they teach us, it's how they teach us, right? I'm speaking from the youth perspective, right? Sitting back and I'm speaking from the youth perspective. Now, identity. The only time I learned, because Baba
Apostle, yeah.
he converted from Christianity to African spirituality, right?
Yeah.
I don't see myself in this book, and I'm very sorry to say this, right?
So you
It's a very,
I
I can't. Every time I see these guys are from Europe, and I'm not saying it to bash anyone, but
Mike.
I can't relate.
Yeah.
I can't relate to what's written there. The only time I learned about my history was a guy called Chagazulu. That's probably even 2 minutes.
As ngifuna ukuzumama, and there's a parent at home omangala uthi yazi ingane zamanje. So just kancane ma, wena uyizwa kanjani, uyibona kanjani inkulumo?
Hey, mina lenkulumo angeke ngibabeke icala ngalokho umuntu akholelwa yikho. Kodwa lithi iBhayibheli ukuqala kokuhlakanipha ukumesaba uJehova. Engithanda ukusho nje batabami, thatha isinqumo njengamanje sithathele wena isinqumo. Ungenzi into ngoba uthwenzela abangani bakho. Mina ngingakutshela nginesizathu sokuthi kungani. Ngoba uNkulunkulu engimkhonzayo uyaphila. Futhi nginemsebenzi engingayichaza. Nginezinto engingazibalula ngempilo yami. Not eyomunye umuntu. Mawuye enkonzweni musukuyela omunye umuntu ziyele wena nomphefumulo wakho azi ukuthi okokuqala njengoba ngiphila emhlabeni kunesikhathi sokuphila kunesikhathi sokuhamba emhlabeni njengoba siphila ke mina ngikhule ngenabo abazali ngikhula futhi kube isikhathi besikhona bengizoke ngichaza
Mama ngicela kungene emlonyeni just quickly, and I think we need to just come back to Mkhulu to ask him about his relationship le kereke. Do I have a right when I don't understand something to question?
Yes.
Because only this thing
no, uyabuza. Ngeke uzohambe enkonzweni kunabakhokheli.
Yeah.
Kunabakhokheli, kunabaphathi enkonzweni. Mawungena eminyango kunabashumayeli.
Yes.
Sithi abasabdikoni into ezinjalo. Kunabakhokheli uma umntwana njengoba ngithi ngikhule ngenabo abazali mina. Uthi uJesu ungumondli wezitandane, uyindoda yabafelokazi. Ukube beyingekho indawo kaNkuluNkulu, bengabe angikho la mina.
Okay,
bengingena mama, ngingena baba, ngingena bhuti wami, ngingena lutho emhlabeni. Ngaphandle kwenkonzo kaNkuluNkulu, indawo kaNkuluNkulu. Ukuba ngamukele uJesu khona isikhathi engihambe ngaso ngoba ngilandela. Khona isikhathi lapho uNkuluNkulu ayewazembula kimina empilweni yami. Namhlanje ngaba angisekho emhlabeni.
Mama ngifuna ukuzwa umkhulu. Yeah, gore yena wa relate to what you are saying. Wabona Mkhulu, what is your current relationship with Christianity now that you've converted?
I feel more, as the pastor put it,
Yes.
the apostle put it,
Yes.
that I can't relate anymore.
Yes.
And not because it's bad.
Yes.
But because my appetite is into other things now.
Okay.
So I am appreciative. I mean, the church did a great deal for me. It gave me a sense of identity, introduced me to God, introduced me to spirituality. Church is not bad. The only thing that I feel Uguti church does not accept Uguti, there's change, there's evolution. Times have changed.
I just want, and the reason why I ask you this question is because you didn't necessarily just leave church. You also converted from Christianity. So give us to understand that, yeah, and maybe just wrap this one up for us. Did you leave church and Christianity totally, or did you leave the church as an institution that the apostle was explaining?
Yeah, so the phrase I normally use is that I left the church, I didn't leave God.
Okay.
Yeah,
let's say you understand. Yeah.
And of course, inkulumo yethu namhlanje bebaleka kakhulu ukuthi si understand ukuthi indaba abantu bangasaya enkonzweni. But one more social media, a church lives within you. As long as you understand that you act on it, then church building will not make much impact on you as a Christian. It wouldn't validate your stand with church. I get laba bangayi enkonzweni khulekani senzwile nawo ukuthi hayi siyayibalance.
Ukuthi nathi uNkulunkulu uyasithanda nanoma singayi enkonzweni. Thank you very much guys for tuning in, and remember 10:30 to 11:30 right here on SABC 1.